Fan kick, windmill, clocks, whatever you call this movement, that's what we're going to be covering today in this tutorial. This is a beginner level skill, so you can do it on spin or static, and today I will be introducing you to a couple variations of the fan kick. At the core of this movement, we have this fan-like motion our legs are moving in. So focusing in on this motion, starting on the floor next to our poles, you can see I begin this movement by shifting my hips away from the pole, followed by opening up my top leg in a circular motion. The second leg follows in the same motion, landing on top of the other leg. So always remember to shift your hips away from the pole before you begin your fan kick. Second, it's common to see the legs brought out too far from the body. Try to bring your legs up higher to your face as your legs move. Your abs will resist less weight when your legs are closer into your center of mass, making this motion easier. Now that the legs know what they're doing, let's come off the ground and start our first fan kick. I usually use the strong hold for my fan kick. I cover this hold a lot more in the invert tutorial I posted, but briefly walk into the pole with your inside arm attached to the pole. Move your inside hip to the front of the pole and close any space between your side and the pole. Grab with the other hand and engage your back. You don't actually have to lift your body with the stronghold until your legs start moving in that fan kick motion. As soon as you fling the legs in a fan kick, you'll feel the upper body react by automatically supporting you while your legs are doing their thing. Notice how my body turns in the same direction my legs are moving. Don't try to resist this motion. Allow your chest to roll over the pole a bit so we can get as much of that momentum as possible. Most beginners think you have to be really strong to lift your legs up and over. That isn't true. If you take advantage of how aggressively and loosely we're throwing our legs across the pole, you'll find that the abs in the upper body barely do any work to lift you up. Again, the key here is being loose with your hips. It takes a lot more energy to rigidly lift our legs, so try to think of your legs as loose appendages, throwing them across the room. Hopefully that makes sense, but it makes a massive difference in your fan kick. Now, if that's looking clean, you can start spicing up your fan kick. We'll begin in a different grip than the stronghold. For this variation, I'll take a pistol grip with the bottom hand. That means my index finger is pointing down the barrel of the pole and my other fingers are wrapped around the bar. I'll be pushing down through this bottom arm and pulling up and towards my face to the top arm in a standard grip. The top hand should be placed a little higher than my head, so I should have a bend in my arm, which will allow my biceps to contract more. As the two arms push and pull, I should feel my body twisting towards the same side of my top arm. If I engage enough, I should feel I can start levitating off the ground. As we combine the leg fan motion with this grip, you'll notice once again the upper body turns on automatically to support the quick movement of the legs. As the legs approach the fan kick, once again, I'll start shifting my inside hip away from the pole and then opening up my legs. The outside foot is also providing a little bit of a boost as it explodes off the ground as the inside leg is flung open. If you'd like your legs to go higher or move more aggressively, reference my previous comment on loosening up your hip joint and fluidly allow the legs to travel up and over. It can take a little while before you feel confident enough to put a lot of power in this movement. So just focus on where your support is coming from in the upper body. Train your brain that the face will not smack into the pole and this is a safe movement. After a while, you can increase your power output and begin more aggressive kick entrances. But if you do feel like the face and the body is too close to the pole when you're in the middle of the motion, that tells me you're not pushing away from the pole enough with your bottom arm and your top arm is pulling you in way too much. One thing you may be picking up on is the amount of twisting our bodies are doing. You'll see here my hips are kind of cupping around the pole before I land. Just like the standard fan kick and the stronghold, you'll feel that torsion here, and that's normal. If you'd like your legs to look a little more straddled in the fan kick variation, you'll have to be very diligent about opening your legs up wide at the high point of this kick and not letting too much of that twisting sensation build up. When I say high point, I'm referencing to the point which your legs are at the highest in the air. You'll know it's the high point because your body actually accelerates up, starts to decelerate up, pauses briefly at the high point, and accelerates you back to the ground. Sorry for the physics lecture, but literally all pole dancing is physics in action. So as you hit this straddle in your high point, your bottom arm has to take the bulk of your weight, as this is our most vertical position. Most of our weight is stacked over this bottom arm as your feet and legs point up. Your top arm will have to ease up on pulling your body towards the pole as well, so you can cut off some of that twisting sensation. Now, for my favorite fan kick variation, I love this one because it looks like I'm kicking someone. So we'll start in the same grip as the last variation we looked at, entering this kick by once again exploding off the outside foot, and the inside hip is turned away from the pole. This time, however, instead of opening in that fan kick straight leg approach, we'll be tucking our legs in. You'll probably feel more of that twisting torsion feeling, again, normal. Now again, once you hit that high point of this movement, you'll just extend that top leg out like you're about to kick someone. And then you just follow through, landing safely on the ground. All right, so that was your fan kick and a few variations to follow through with it. As always, leave any comments you have for questions or further video suggestions later on down the line. I just want to say thank you for watching, making it all the way through this video, and I will see you on the next one.